Hey everybody, I'm making a super short video. I just got out of the shower and this is so not my style, and maybe that's for the best because it's really hard to make videos, but I just wanted to come on here, make a short video, so disregard my wet hair and fresh face. And I have to share this, we have to believe in ourselves. And I never got that forever from like NA and AA meetings. They would say, oh, you have to have a higher power. And it was explained with kind of like this real, it felt like to me dogmatic, almost like Christian undertone that, it had to be, and it's like, oh, the chair, the group meetings can be your higher power, but I never understood why. And it's not because it's just, you know, it's like a good thing to do. It's because it's a thing that is going to be done. As human beings, we are going to have a higher power. There is no one who believes in, nothing at all. People say that a lot of times that are atheists, and that I did the same thing too for many years. And I would love to know if anybody knows an exception to this, but every single atheist I have ever known, self included, um, their political affiliation is their higher power. It is this like omnipotent being where it's like on a pedestal. You can judge, you can condemn, you can look down upon others while also like feeling like the bigger person and telling everybody else about themselves, but being too, um, afraid to kind of look in the mirror, metaphorically speaking. But the higher power is us. We are some type of divinity. We are some type of divine, the divine masculine, the divine feminine. It lives in all of us. We can just do what we want to do. And I just suffered, and I'm so incredibly insecure and self-conscious. I was crippled my entire life by insecurity and just kind of a feeling of not worthy, not fitting in, not good enough. I was so afraid to live. I sought out relationships where people would tell me what to do and where to go, and then I could be like, oh well, I'm in love, that's why I'm going here. I sought out substances and drugs to tell me, to show me who I was, and then the drugs took over. But that's not us. It's these fucking masks that we are told to wear. And, we're either going to do it the right way, which is just like keep your head down, toe the line, and die like this, quiet desperation, life and death. Just like live and die in quiet desperation and like do the 3D thing. Or you can just live and do what you want to do. And I never understood that I wasn't the problem with my insecurity. I thought it was just, oh, well, it's just the thing, the way I am. I'm too insecure. What's the reason for that? Well, the reason is that, I must not be worthy, or, it's just one of those things. It's life isn't going to work out for me. And I did not begin to live until I got sober. But I had been sober for years, for 4.5, going on 5 years in the past. And I wasn't alive then. I was just going back to college because that's what I was supposed to do. I just kept my masks on. I didn't even think about who am I when I take off every single expectation of what I'm supposed to do, where I'm supposed to go, or who I'm supposed to be. When I stopped listening to everyone else and these instilled beliefs and started listening to me, like, what do I want to do? And started doing that. I haven't, I don't feel that I was alive until 2019. And now I see when I started to live from my higher power being myself, inside myself, when I really started to live life on my own terms, because what else are we going to do? We're here, we're living. We might as well do whatever it is that we want to do. And when I started to write, when I started to meditate, when I stopped, I quit my good job so I can be home with my daughter. People called me crazy. They said, oh, you're one of these days you're going to have to get a real job. One of these days you're going to have to do this and do that. And, oh, you need to, use your degree so it won't be in vain and for nothing. People were still trying to tell me like how absurd it was. And I'm the happiest that I've ever been. So people are always going to say something. And if the minute that you start to listen to yourself, they are going to see that reflection, and they're going to turn it back inwards on them and be like, well, wait a second. Why is she listening to herself? Who does she think she is? Who do you think you are to not just keep your head down and fucking take it and be miserable like the rest of us? And I didn't know this until I started writing. I can't remember. I mean, probably, I don't know. When do you learn how to spell the letter I's? EYES. But the word eyes is yes, EYES. I mean, that's humanity. E equals energy equals yes. Yes is life. Yes is you saying yes to yourself, not your ego, not, some weird like reflection of, oh, well, you told me to go right, so I'm either going to go right, but now I resent it, so I'm going to go like a hard left. Go where you want to go. Do what you want to do. Why not? And so that's it. I think I'm going to wrap it up with that, but I just wanted to get that off my chest. E Who knew that there was yes and eyes? I had no idea. Your higher power is yourself, because we are not some stupid fucking worker bee, despite what you have been told. You are not just supposed to live and die surrounded by exactly the same way as your family and everybody else you've ever known. You are supposed to toe your own road, go your own path, and just trust that it will all work out. I'm still insecure. I still have, all of these issues that I've always had. I'm still too in my head. And we are really lucky, final thought. If you are in your head, if you do have mental problems, a personality disorder, all of these things, they're fucking masks. And if they're not, if that doesn't apply to you, then don't worry about it. But for me, that's just a mask. It's a label. I was always on the lookout for a label to tell me about myself, to understand myself. But a label, like, it was so unfulfilling. It was just another fucking a fucking mask that came with expectations. But if you are in your head, you're already, a step above. You're already heading in the right direction, because it's a blessing and a curse. It feels like a curse because I know what it's like to be a prisoner of your mind into your mind, but it's also such a blessing because there are so many people who just think this is it. They're just going to live and die in the 3D. But if you are in the 4D, then you are already in your head. So you can either go up or down. You can go back to the 3D, keep your head down, work in your fucking cubicle, or, flip burgers or whatever. Or you could elevate to that, Christ consciousness, or whatever you want to call it, something greater. And that is the yes in our eyes, the yes in our energy, the life inside of us, to turn that life and say yes to ourselves and live that expression. It's beautiful. Y'all have a good night.